Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Michelle Fondin and I'm the author of Twin Flame Romance, The Journey to Unconditional Love, available now in paperback, Kindle, and Audible books. Go ahead and pick up your copy. I know Audible's having a special. It's really great to have in paperback though. That way you can highlight what's on the inside. If you're currently reading Twin Flame Romance and would like to leave a review on Amazon, that would be greatly appreciated. If you do leave a review, go ahead and email me at michellefondinauthor@gmail.com with a screenshot of that review, and I will give you a promotional code for a free copy of Chakra Healing for Vibrant Energy on Audible. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me again. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe to the channel below, hit the bell for notifications, and give the video a thumbs up. If you would like to schedule a twin flame reading with me or just a reading in general on life purpose, relationships, or health, you can email me at michellefondinauthor@gmail.com, and you can also go to fondinwellness.com. Today we're talking about Twin Flames Daily Inspiration, and that subject is the Serenity Prayer for Twin Flames. Now, I know sometimes this journey has its share of ups and downs and the crazy roller coaster ride of emotions that we all experience, if not each day, certainly every few days, where one second you're feeling up and positive and upbeat and connected, and another you're feeling low and confused and not understanding exactly what's going on with this twin flame connection. So I thought I'd throw out there the Serenity Prayer. For those of you that are not familiar with the Serenity Prayer, it is often used in recovery groups and 12-step groups of all sorts. I'm most familiar with recovery groups dealing with alcoholism and addiction. I was never an alcoholic or an addict, but I was addicted to an alcoholic. I learned the Serenity Prayer very early on, and I have it in a couple of places in my home on different plaques, and it's something good that I like to remind myself of every single day. And when you are in a situation that really, truly seems beyond your control, this is a good prayer to really put into motion, not only to think about it, not only to meditate on it, but really to put it into motion. So the Serenity Prayer goes, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Let's break that down a little bit and let's decode it, because it's really important for you guys to just grasp it and understand and really feel it into your body, mind, and soul, because it can be super helpful when you are going through that roller coaster of emotions, those ups and downs. And what is life if you are constantly in a state of turmoil? When in the good moments you feel great, but in the not so good moments you feel miserable, and then you have this constant feeling of up and down, just depending on life happenings and circumstances, which you really need to have the inner peace or the serenity to feel more on an even keel. So you're not really experiencing the high highs when life is good and feel the really, really lows when life is not so good. So the first is, God, grant me the serenity. Now, I'm going to decode this in a couple of ways. Now, I'm spontaneously doing this. Of course, your interpretation of the Serenity Prayer might be a little bit different, but this is how I'm going to decode it. And I'm asking for my angels and guides to give me guidance in order to move forth with this explanation so that you can get the most out of it. Not only for today, but hopefully to be able to apply this to your everyday life. So God, grant me the serenity. So already with the first part of the Serenity Prayer, it's indicating God or a higher power. In recovery groups, we really refer to that as a higher power. Now, what is a higher power for you? It could be God, spirit, universe, Mother Nature, whatever type of label you happen to put on the word God, the reason why recovery groups tend to say higher power, just in general, is because it's the all acceptance. It's the universality of the concept. Because for many people in recovery from, again, it's not limited to alcohol and drug addiction, but that's the one I'm most familiar with. So what it does is that it helps someone grasp something outside of themselves as a higher state of strength, a higher state of being. Because when you come to the point where you have those roller coaster moments, where you have those highs and lows, where you believe that, like, I need to solve all of my own problems by myself, when you are in that space of desperation where you're constantly seeking for answers and you can't find them, because with the mind that created the problems, it's really hard for that same mind that created the problems to solve those problems. Oftentimes we have to reach outside of ourselves into a higher power. Now, as I mentioned, that many of you can think of the higher power in many different ways. So if you don't identify with a deity, if you don't identify with something religious, as an example, in the recovery groups, they say you can either like name something as your higher power, something like outside of yourself that, like I said, Mother Nature's a good one for those who don't really know what they believe in, but the orchestration of the whole universe through the perfection that happens in nature, or the collectivity. So that's another one. As a higher power, we can reach out toward the strength of the collective. And I think that's what a lot of you are doing here on YouTube. As you search for answers, you're really looking for that power within the collectivity. Now, the danger in that sometimes is just knowing what energy level or energy frequency that collectivity that you're reaching out to is resonating at, right? Because everybody in the collective, general collective, resonates at a different frequency. Now, if we were to take societal collective, society resonates at a very low frequency, but hopefully in this twin flame community, once you're reaching those higher states of consciousness, many of us are resonating at a much, much higher frequency than general society. So God grant me the serenity. Now, serenity, peace, freedom, right? In Sanskrit, we call that moksha. Freedom, liberation. It's serenity. Serenity is the opposite of anxiety. Serenity is the opposite of anger. Serenity is the opposite of turmoil, emotional turmoil. And so we ask God, our higher power, to give us, to grant us the serenity. Okay, grant us that inner peace. Grant us that calmness that comes from within, from the knowingness that we don't run the universe, that I do not run the universe and neither do you. So God, grant me the serenity. The next phrase, to accept the things I cannot change. So to accept the things I cannot change, to come to acceptance is to come to a place of surrender. It's to come to the place of acknowledgement that I might not have all the answers, that I'm not the ruler of the universe, even though my ego would like to think otherwise, that I am not the great big bad boss that has to resolve every single problem in the universe, including my twin flames problems. And so it's just accepting. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. So here's what you can change. You can change yourself, but you can't change others. And that's really what I want to bring to the table here when we talk about our twin flames and the twin flame collective, is that grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. I cannot change other people. I cannot change the situation that they are in when it comes to my twin flame. I cannot change the fact that, for example, if I reach out to my twin flame and they don't reach back to me, I cannot change that. That is their prerogative to reach out to me or not. That is their prerogative to communicate with me or not. That is their prerogative to stay in their life however they want to live their life. I cannot change that. Okay? So I can't change it. It's other people's lives, or they're living their lives. I cannot change what they are doing, nor is it my responsibility to change what they are doing. I can't change other people. I can't control other people. I can't change other people. I can't predict how they're going to act or react. I'm not allowed to do that, because that is God's work. So God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, the courage. It takes a lot of courage, honestly, to actually change the things that you can change. Because oftentimes the things that we can change, that we are in the power to change, usually comes with our own life. It comes with our body, with our mind, with our emotions, with our physical activity, with healing the past, with healing past hurts, wounds, relationships. It comes with changing things in our family dynamic. It comes with changing maybe our occupation or job, or changing our finances. And a lot of times when we look at ourselves, when we look to ourselves and we realize, oh boy, my life's a mess in some respects. We might see that maybe our bodies are fine, but our finances are a mess, or maybe our mind is fine, or our bodies are a mess. It takes a lot of courage to be able to change the things that we see in our lives that look not so good, that look kind of ugly. It's a lot easier for us in that situation and circumstance to focus on somebody else. Because it's a lot easier to try to change somebody else than to go ahead and change ourselves. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. The wisdom to know the difference. Now that is the key phrase there, right? So surrender to God. You're asking, begging, really, God to give you that tranquility, that serenity, that freedom of mind, the freedom from the ups and downs of the emotional roller coaster that we're on during this twin flame journey. But in the end, what you're asking God is, please give me the wisdom to know, what are the things within my realm of control? What are the things that are not within the realm of my control? Where do these things fall? Where do they lie? Because a lot of times we act and react to things, generally speaking, that are out of our control. Totally out of our control. For example, we cannot control other people's opinions of us. We cannot control that. No way, no how can you control that. You could be the best behaving person on the planet, and there will be some people who think that you're a schmuck. Literally. And you could be the most beautiful person on the planet, and someone could say you look like dirt. Yes, that has even happened to me on YouTube. You should see some of those comments. I do delete them, but so you can't control how other people act towards you, react towards you, and how people respond to you. You have no control over that. Absolutely no control over that. People are going to react to you the way they're going to react. They're going to respond the way they're going to respond. They're going to have an opinion of you the way they want to have an opinion of you, regardless of who you are. So it's that wisdom to decipher and to know, what's the difference? What can I control and what can't I control? I am going to step into my power by understanding the things I can change and take control of. And the things that I can't change and can't take control of, I'm going to let those things go. Because I can't change or take control of them anyway. Why would I bother? Why would I waste my time? My time on earth is precious. My time on earth is limited. I have no power in changing others, and I have no power in trying to manipulate or control things that are beyond my control. Therefore, the best course of action for me is to surrender those things that I cannot control to God or my higher power, depending on what you call it. Surrendering those things to my higher power or God, and then working on the things in my life that I actually can control. Like really working on those things or just looking at those things. Now, one thing I want to say to you guys is that you might not be able to control your circumstances, but you most definitely can control your attitude. You 100% can control your attitude about your circumstances. So if you have a bad attitude about your circumstances, or if you're bummed out or sad or depressed or stressed over your circumstances that you cannot control, that is on you. That's not on anybody else but you. Sorry. It's just on you. So you can have a good attitude about it. You can have a bad attitude about it. You can have an appreciation for the certain things that are the blessings in there. Or you can just be criticizing and be grumpy all the time and make everybody else in your life miserable because you're grumpy. So while you can't control your circumstances all the time, you can control your attitude and outlook. And the people that are the most intelligent, emotionally intelligent, which really counts, obviously, the people that are the most emotionally intelligent are the ones who control their own attitude. The ones who can move from a state of despair and chaos, that emotional chaos, into really that surrender and acceptance of, I might be in a situation that I cannot control right now. I might be in a circumstance that doesn't look good right now. However, I can control my own way that I'm reacting to this. I have a choice, and you always, 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 always have a choice. You always have a choice. Even if you think you don't have a choice, you have a choice. You have a choice over your own attitude and your outlook. You can have a bad attitude, and then you're miserable in your daily life. Or you can have a good attitude, even if you're feeling sad. Like, you can feel sad and still have a good attitude. You can feel stressed and still have a good attitude. You can feel depressed and still have a good attitude. It's the outlook. It's the outlook that is like, I don't like what's happening right now, but God, I give this to you. Grant me the serenity. Help me accept this. And just help me understand what in this situation that I can change. So I feel like I'm gaining a little bit more control over my life. It has nothing to do with control over everybody else's life or the situation or the universe. But maybe I feel like I need to take a little bit better control of my life and the things that I can change and the things that I can direct in my life, because there are certain things you can do. You can eat better, for example. Like, if you find that consistently you're having a bad attitude, watch what you're eating. Are you eating in excess of sugar? Are you eating in excess of fat, fast foods? Are you eating in excess or drinking in excess of caffeine? Like, are those the things that are dragging you down or making you crazy? Or alcohol or drugs or whatever? And so just pay attention to those things. Pay attention to the way you're moving, your body's moving. Pay attention to your exercise program. Are you going outside? Are you getting up and going? Change your attitude. That is what you do have direct control over. So just look at that and really, honestly, write it down. Get a plaque with the Serenity Prayer. Say it to yourself every single day. It really, really, really does help. That's why they use it in recovery groups, because recovery groups, the basic premise is I'm sober and clean today for the next 24 hours. I just have today. Like, I just have today. And they say the Serenity Prayer every single day because their building of what they can control, what they can't control is just happening on a day-to-day basis. It's not like, please grant me the serenity for the next 24 years. It's like, no, just give me today. Like, please give me today. Help me to understand what I can control and what I can't control just for today. I hope this is helpful for you guys today. And I know the holiday season is coming up, and I know it's extremely difficult for a lot of you on so many levels. Some of you are really excited with the kids and getting the presents and grandkids and all that. And maybe if you don't have kids, maybe your siblings are coming back in town or coming back from college. And I know there's a lot of excitement surrounding that, but I understand that this twin flame journey is really difficult, and the holidays can be especially difficult for romantic relationships that are not necessarily in harmony. Use the serenity prayer every single day in the month of December and really repeat it to yourself. And if you are faced with a situation, which you will be, I promise you, if you're faced with a situation that throws you into disharmony, that throws you into anxiety, say the serenity prayer and ask God to help you understand. First, to give you serenity, but then help you understand what things can I control, what things can't I control, what do I need to accept, what do I need to have the courage to change. It will, I promise you, it will make the world of difference in your life, especially during this holiday season. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Click the bell for notifications. Thank you for sharing this video with other twin flames. Thank you for pledging your support on Patreon, www.patreon.com/Michelle S. Fondin. And I will see you in the next video.